Hi, I'm Eric Douglas and welcome to the Become a Mum Blogger video series. Today we're on to our seventh video, which is going to be on search engine optimization and branding. So I'm going to start with search engine optimization and I'm going to do the simple version. So search engine optimization, I'm going to actually show you what I mean, because sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. So if you go to Google and you type in a phrase, and I'm going to use one that I rank for with my blog, littlemummy.com. And that is how to make paint. What you can see is that a number of pages come up. So I'm sure you've all used Google before. And basically how Google decides what order to rank these pages in will depend on when they come to your site. So they come to the site and basically their bots do this, and they look for keywords, they look at the type of content that you're writing, and it will basically scan your page and all the pages in your blog and see what it is that you're talking about. It'll also use things like your tags and your categories to figure out what your topic is and what you're an authority on, so that they can best deliver the page that they think is most suited to the person who's searching. So I've typed in how to make paint. So they will have scoured all the pages on the internet and decided in which order the pages are most relevant. And as you can see, my page comes up second, which is great because anything on the first page gets the most of the traffic, but particularly above the fold, and that's the above the fold bit is the bit before you have to actually scroll. So when people talk about above the fold, that's what they mean. Some people call it above the cut. It means that you don't have to scroll. So most people searching are going to choose the page, one of these three probably, perhaps 4 or 5. So I'm positioned second, so that's great. Most of the traffic, I think the statistic is 8 out of 10 people will pick the first page in the first instance, but you still get a lot of traffic for being second or third as well. So that's what you're basically aiming for. Or I mean, it depends. I say you're aiming for. If you're really interested in search engine optimization, that's what you're aiming for. If you're hobby blogging, then this part may be less interesting to you. But that's how you basically get traffic from search engines, and that's where this idea of search engine optimization comes from. So going back to our tips for simple search engine optimization and the things that you can do to help your blog rank for certain things is to use keywords in your titles. So if you've got a blog about baby-led weaning, you would use that phrase in your title fairly regularly. And as search engines send their bots to your site, they'll pick up on the fact that this is the topic that you're an authority on. Use the keywords throughout your posts. So if you're writing about baby-led weaning, it should be quite easy. This should happen naturally. A lot of these things should happen naturally. But if you specifically want to rank for a certain topic, then you can basically go about doing that with a bit of a plan in place. Tag your photos. So when you upload a photo, and we've covered that in one of the earlier videos, there's an option to give it an alternative title, and you can basically just put in, just by adding, say you've taken a picture of baby-led weaning, sticking with the same example, then you would put baby-led weaning as the title of that photograph. And finally, use your keywords in your categories and post tags. So your categories, I basically showed you there, was a minute ago, are the categories, the overall categories that your blog is about. So try and keep it to a minimum. I've got too many. That happens when you've been blogging a long time. You end up with more and more categories, and I really need to simplify and cut those categories back, because I don't think you really want more than sort of half a dozen to a dozen maximum. And post tags. You can tag your posts by, I think it's at the bottom as you've written your post, at the bottom there's a place to add tags in. I'll show you that actually. If I go to one of my blog posts, you can see that the tags are at the bottom here. Do we not do? Oh, this theme obviously doesn't do tags. My mistake. But basically, yeah, your tags will come up here then. So these are all the things that I mostly talk about. The biggest ones represent what I talk about most, which is parenting, motherhood, blogging, Disney World, pregnancy, personal development. So they come up there. And Google will recognize that this is the order and the things that I'm most that I talk about most on. So In some themes, because this is a newer theme of mine, your tags will come up along here as well. So the things that you've talked about, and you can click on those tags and you can find all the posts within those tags. Tags obviously help the search bar as well to figure out where you're finding your content too. So that's basically simple search engine optimization, and that's mostly all you really need to know if you're mum blogging. You don't really need to go any deeper than that. There's a lot more to the topic, but it's not really relevant unless you're business blogging or blogging purposely just to get search engine rankings and things. So the other thing I want to talk about today was branding. And what I mean by branding, you've probably heard this like in a business sense, a business's brand, but you're basically a brand as well. And when you have your own blog and you have your Twitter and you have your Facebook, if you're taking it quite seriously, you're going to want to build that brand and so that you become instantly recognizable. And there's a few ways that you can do that. Obviously, having your blog theme looks similar to your Facebook page and to your Twitter, and all these things help. And the one thing that you can do is add a favicon. A favicon stands for favorite icon, and it's basically it's this little bit up here. And as you can see, it comes up in the tab, it comes up in the search bar, and what it is for me, it's a combination of my header and this picture here. And basically, I'll show you another one. Let's go to English Mum. Sorry, typing with one hand, very slow. And her favicon will come up. My computer is a little slow because we're recording. And her one is she's got an I love cake favicon up here. And again, it's up here. And it just allows you to become, it looks quite professional, and it allows you to become more instantly recognizable, especially if your favicon is the same as your Twitter icon, is the same as your picture on Facebook if you've got a Facebook page for your blog. So my favicon is the same as one of my Twitter accounts, specifically for littlemummy.com. So to get one of these favicons, you go to www.favicon.co.uk. You can generate your favicon quite easily here by browsing an image and uploading it, and you can follow here. This is the best way to do it. So what is a favicon? How do I make a favicon? What's next? Favicon generator. So just follow those steps. The other thing I wanted to talk about was a gravatar. And I'll show you again what a gravatar is. I'm going to go back to home and pick a post that I've actually written on, which is what does success mean to you? And if you go down to the comments, you can see this is basically your gravatar. So people who have uploaded a gravatar will have this, which is, again, part of their branding. I can see immediately, without even looking at this part, that this is Becky, English Mum. And this is my favicon here. I don't use the littlemummy.com one, although I probably could. Because I blog for both business and for personal, I choose to have just a picture of myself, and that covers all bases. As you can see, the other people that have left messages haven't got gravatars. You can see it's way better if you do have a gravatar. So it just looks nice. And you can get a gravatar from gravatar.com. And again, it's quite simple, a bit like the favicon. You can sign up for free, and you can upload a picture, and you can change your picture anytime. And you don't have to do anything else. When you go and post on other people's blogs, your gravatar will automatically follow you. And it's a great way for you to become instantly recognizable. So that's what I'm going to cover today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and that gives you some things to work on this week. And I look forward to talking to you next time. Thanks for watching.